Hello, dear friends. First of all, I would like to thank our area director. I don't remember the letter A or B, Maria Kalugina, for inviting me here to hold this workshop. So actually the workshop is the part of my program, which I usually provide to the clients. So it can be the more detailed workshop, it can be a part of a training, it can be just a small master class, as we say in Russian, like the small 40 minutes workshop in Russian. So I used my presentation, just translated it, and I hope I don't violate the rules of putting my logo here, because I loved how it fit the title. So the part of my logo is in the title. So today we'll speak about 3 steps to your perfect self-presentation. Some words about myself. I am a Toastmaster since 2000. I became a DTM, a Distinguished Toastmaster. I hope everybody knows what it is. So the person who has done all the program. So in 2014, and at the same year I started my own project. So my business training experience started in 2007, and in 2014 I started my own project, Public Speaking Lab. So it says for itself. So we train people to speak, to be better speakers. We have individual trainings, we have big trainings and games, which were already mentioned today. Well, impressed? So that's the usual presentation, you know, which is quite convenient for us. We just say about ourselves, like me, myself, my achievements, my credentials, so what I am, so what I have achieved now. And it's quite okay for such a slide, which I have shown to you, so that people in the audience will know why they should trust me, because, yeah, well, I have some experience. Or a kind of a brief introduction for the conference when you are applying as a speaker, and there will be a program and some words about yourself. Sure. But actually, it's not what you really need to talk if you want to sell something, sell yourself, or better to say, win the hearts of the people. And probably it's, we still use this kind of introduction because, as I say, it's like a comfort zone. If I say I've been a Toastmaster for 19 years, and it's definitely impressive. But I don't know, maybe some people will be scared and won't approach me because I'm such a mammoth here, I don't know. So it just depends on my goal, what I want to do, how I want to impress. So before, you know, not so many people achieved such heights as a TTM. Not many people were directors because there were not so many companies as we have now. So probably in the 50s or 60s, it was really cool to say I'm a director of the company, or I'm a serial entrepreneur, etc., etc. Now, you know, there are startups, like many people want to be their own masters, and it's not so impressive if you hear that, okay, I run my project, because the project, it doesn't mean that you are like in the Forbes list. Okay. But we still do it. So second thing is that now there is a huge information, I would say, noise. So we get a lot of information from everywhere. And like you're at a networking session, somebody says, hello, I'm a psychologist. And another one says, hello, I'm a psychologist. And hello, I'm a psychologist. I don't know whom I would remember. Maybe the person with huge earrings, or maybe the one whom I met in the end. Like, you know, Stirlitz was sure that you remember something which you heard or saw in the end. So you should stand out, because there's so much information, and what you say should differ from what the others say. And the third thing is that because we don't have time, we're overloaded with our duties, with the informations, we're really not interested in what you are as your profession, or we're interested in one thing. So what's in it for me? So I'm interested what I can get from you, so what I can give you. So maybe there is some sides of the person I'm speaking which coincide with mine, and I will be happy to communicate. But if the person just says his or her profession, I can't understand. I just have to be a very intuitive person to get to know that, well, I know. And before, when somebody said a psychologist, I had a lot of time to talk to him or her, and I would ask, so who are your clients, so what's your method, etc. So now we need to understand it very, very quickly. So that's what we do today. I will introduce you the model of 3 steps, and we'll practice. So it's not that I will speak all the time. So first I will give you the material. Sorry, I haven't done it. Could you help maybe just like this? For this part and for this part. So you can use it. I hope it's enough because I printed out like 20 copies. So 3 easy steps. Of course, the first step will be about what you are. What you are, what your profession is. Maybe my profession is a geographer, but I don't work as a geographer, so I would say about my profession now, not the one which I have on my diploma. What's your occupation? So I would say my occupation is a business trainer, but my profession is geographer and a coach and a trainer. And then you just think about what's your strong side. So what in your profession, so what to do best. For instance, when I started my work as a coach, if you know coach, the person who helps achieve the goals, and I worked as a career coach. But career coach can work in 2 different ways. If you are not happy with your job, but you don't know what to do, you don't know your strengths, the coach can help you to find your strengths and will help you find another profession. Another way is that, for instance, I'm a lawyer, a high-paid lawyer, but I'm so unhappy. It was, the family scenario. I didn't want to have to be a lawyer. I want to work in marketing, but I don't know how to get there. So now I'm determined. I want to go there. So I need a person who will help to find the way there. So to find how can I start? So what can I write in my resume so that people in the marketing sphere will look at me? So that was my profession before. That was my strong point. So I told that I made your plans, your dreams, your goals, and your plans, and your plans, the reality. That was my part, which I still do it really very good. So when you want to prepare for special speech for a certain conference, so we can go this path together. So just think what side of your profession, if you're a lawyer, so what kind of cases you deal with, or if you're a psychologist, so what kind of situations you deal with, you are really great at. And also use a metaphor or a teaser. So here, if you have already seen, maybe I forgot to make the animation here so that you see it later. This is something like, you say not in a direct way. So you are somewhere at a networking meeting and somebody asks you, like, what's your profession? You say, I'm a speech doctor. So what is it? So the person is interested, and then you say, okay, I'm an expert in public speaking, and then you do the second step. So this is one. I used the one which one of the Toastmasters from Germany used. So he named his project Reden Doctor, which is speech doctor. So and he helped the people from IT industry to be understandable and interesting on the stage, speaking about IT things. So another one. Yesterday I worked with my client, and she works as a coach, but in the field of for people not to overcome the difficulties, but in the field of finding pleasures and finding themselves in the pleasures. So what kind of person I am because I like this or this. And so I decided to call her pleasure investigator. So because we spoke in her speech that they investigate themselves through pleasures. So this is some examples which you can use. If it comes to your mind. So it's okay if you just write that I'm, I don't know, an engineer, like a strong in a special device, some special device. It's okay. But if you have some idea what you, with what you can compare that, so please do it. It will be really great that it's like a hook. The person will hear something strange. Like, you know, in public speaking, you should be provocative. Say something, what's this? And then you explain what you mean. Another nice thing I love is, what's your profession? I move the items with their strengths of my thought. You say, are you a magician? No, I'm a logistic manager. So I think, and there's something moves somewhere. So if you have such ideas, it will be very great. I have not still found. I am still in this search of the metaphor for myself, because speech doctor is not about me; it's about another person. So maybe you will find it quicker, maybe not so quick. So just 1 minute to concentrate. Probably some of you have already written. So the first you work like on yourself, on your own. On your own, just write down fill the first gap with the word step 1. What am I? And if you see at the paper, it's the shortest part. It's deliberately that I found just the. I decided to put not so many space in this part, because it should be brief. You should say it briefly, and then you should say, so why the client needs you. This person needs you, maybe as a client, as a partner, or maybe as somebody else. So step 2 is, what problem do you solve? So actually you should present yourself as somebody who can solve the problem. The problem in English, it has the normal sense. Like, problem is some task, something which people face, and they want to somehow to deal with it, to have great results. So actually, when I introduced this model in Russian, we just sometimes argue about the word problem, because problema sounds a bit of negative for people. So, but it depends, because you shouldn't say the client, the possible client, this person you're introducing yourself about problems. But for yourself, it should be in your mind as a problem. So it's not like. Before I thought you should learn speaking, spontaneous speaking, impromptu speaking. I thought, like, because I knew why we need it. So I wrote in my ads something like spontaneous speaking is kind of creativity, blah blah, something like this. And I had the people who came to me. They were trainers. And some people who were very close to public speaking, because they understood why it was, what it meant for them. And my question was, why the business people, managers, top managers, they don't come to my trainings? And then we spoke with an expert, and she told me, no, because they don't understand the problem. They think they can prepare for their speeches. They don't need impromptu speaking. So then we just wrote, the problem is that they don't have time to prepare properly. You know, all as Toastmasters, that to create a great speech for 7 minutes, which will sound not like something you have learned by heart, but just like you deliver it here. For me, it takes about 3 weeks. I don't know any business people who have 3 weeks to prepare for a speech. So they need the skill of speaking spontaneously, impromptu speaking, without the preparation, so that they could just make the preparation time shorter. And then they understood. And now we have a lot of managers, people from business coming to our trainings because they know why they need it. So it's like, think about the problem the client faces. My examples. I help people create bright, strong speeches to convey their ideas, persuade the client, sell a project, or reach any goal you set. So usually I just say sometimes very brief, like you will deliver the speech which will hit the goal. Like, you have the goal to sell something, you have the goal to introduce the company, you have the goal to win this job. So then you will provide the speech. I help to do it. And another thing is like the same which I have already told you, like train people to speak easily, even with minimum preparation, so that they feel confident delivering speeches in public. Now, like 2 minutes, to concentrate and describe. Could you please show me 2 minutes? Yeah, why not? Just like this, because I didn't take my phone. Just think, what benefit can you bring? How you can solve the problem? What can you do for the person? And some people who work in info marketing, they love the word pain. Like, what is the pain of the client? What is the pain of the person you're speaking about? And if you hit the pain, so that will be great. Like, yes, I need you.
Question.
Yeah?
Are we talking about how to introduce ourselves generally for the people, or specifically only to our clients? Because it might be the slightly different.
You can adjust it for not the clients, like partners maybe, or like business partners with whom you can work together to gain clients. Or maybe you can try introduce yourself for like some communities, if you want to serve in a community so that they take you. So just you can adjust. I speak mostly about clients because in my project I sell, and it's my main thing where I use the my main goal. So where I use the presentation. So that's why sometimes I say clients. And today I had a lot of client talks. So you just can adjust. Thank you for the question. So if you are through with this step, yeah, 2 minutes are over. Now we go to the step number 3, and it should be a supporting story. So after you said this kind of common words, like in Russian say общие слова, like something, yeah, sure, we have worked that they were not so abstract, but still it is something quite abstract for the people sometimes. And the story helps it make more concrete, more understandable. And that's my story. And I just, after saying about the making bright presentations to hit the goals, I say just, like last week I finished my work with Andrew. He's an entrepreneur who specializes in helping startups to fly, as they say. I don't know the English variant. In Russian they say to take off, for the startups to take off. So it's his thing, what he does. And he was invited to the conference in Ukraine, and his goal was first to introduce his own method, and second is to invite them to his paid workshop. So we worked on this speech, and after the speech, 20 people decided to attend the workshop, and he found new connections for this future business in Ukraine, for further expansion in Ukraine. So that was the story, the case. So it can be as a story, just a short, very short story. It can be kind of, if you don't have a story, you can tell how it works. You can say like, okay, we get together, and the client tells about the problem, so about the conference, so why he's there, and so on and so forth. So and we speak about it and find all the his things he knows. We just put it on the paper, and then we work on the goal, and we speak about the audience, and then we find the structure and so on. So I don't do like this so that's why I'm now not so free in like explaining, because I usually have stories. I have stories about clients in different spheres of my work. So like sometimes I mention our Ermek as the success story for the impromptu speaking. So when I speak about this part of our trainings, I have this story, and this is my best story about like creating their conference talk. So just think about something where you the time where you were very effective because you worked on your favorite topic, on your favorite the things which you are very strong at. So first step, you know who you are, you know what you are, you know your strengths, then you know what problem you solve, and then of course you have testimonials, so you have the experience, you have already success stories. And actually, if you think more, you can understand that you can start, for the next time you can start, if you still don't know what your real strength is, you can start with a story. Because I started as a coach, just like, okay, everybody come to me, I will help you to change career. And then I understood that I'm very effective in changing career when person knows where to go but doesn't know how. And I'm not so effective when somebody doesn't know where to go. There are some other people who do this. So maybe through your stories, you understand your strengths. So through your stories, you have the list of problems of the clients. You just go the other way around, yeah? And then you know your strengths. And after that, you rewrite your story using the knowledge you have. So it's kind of a coaching process, actually, simultaneously. Not only the model for speaking, it's just something which you can investigate in yourself. So now 2 minutes to remember a story. And then you will work in pairs. So if you're ready, just find another person, somebody who is free still. So just make pairs. So maybe in your, or if you use the geographical principle, just if you sit together, or maybe you find somebody whom you don't know yet. I don't want to introduce such techniques because they will use a lot of time. I just want that we work further without the breaks. Question? No. You already. Okay, there's somebody who needs a pair, somebody, a partner. So just sit together, and there won't be 10 minutes, it will be just 8 minutes, I think. So, first of all, just everybody. Okay, yeah. No, it will be 4 minutes, 4 minutes. Okay, so make sure you have a partner to speak to. So, you? Okay. Just now, just a moment. Attention. Valeria, attention. So you have, you will work 8 minutes, not 10. Sorry. So 4 minutes. One person, the first, within this 4 minutes, should tell the story about 1 to 2 minutes, not more. And then the other person will say kind of feedback. In the feedback, you will just say if it's clear, if it was concise, precise, if it was, if it touched the emotion. If you want to, I don't know, to sell something, to buy the product and to make friends and so on, anything you want. And then I will say stop, and you change, and the same process. After that, just think who would like to be on the stage. I will ask 3, not more than 3 self-presentations we will hear from the stage. Okay? So now start. Now stop. So dear friends, I don't know how to shut up this thing. Okay. So, dear friends, Madam President, good. I hope you all managed to discuss your presentations that you presented, or more or less, I hope so. Now I need 3 people to perform on stage so that we all could hear your presentations and will also say some words about these presentations. So who is eager to come here to have extra work, extra polishing? Okay, Alina, second. Your name? Irina, and we need, okay? Daniel. Okay, very good. So we'll start with Alina. Let's welcome Alina on stage. You have maximum 2 minutes. Okay.
So hello everyone again, and about what I am, if I can say, I'm a negotiations woman. And every day my routines are I speak with people a lot, with my customers, with my team, with my contractors, with my employers, and etc. And every day I try to give them information what they should do and why they should do this way what I ask them, and every what I need to find right words in the right time to send them information why they should do it and why I ask them to do it. So if speak about my success case, it's really was just right now. A few days ago I finished my holidays, and in that time my team was preparing to one step of our contract, and they had chat with customers, and they had misunderstanding, and as a result we had a lot of problems, and I started from Monday till today. Today I had last speech with customer, last meeting, and I resolved problem. We have a contract now, we have negotiations, and we know what to do. They know what we can, and we know what they want. So 3 days speaking, it was my success. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Okay. So do you remember the metaphor or the teaser which Alina used? Negotiation woman? Woman.
I don't know if I can say that.
Okay, I actually heard something like boomer, so who boomed the negotiation. But maybe you'll just look into that. Okay, I liked, so the beginning was interesting that it was like some provocation, something, okay, if it was woman's also negotiation, a woman, okay, good. Then in the end, the story was really great. So you showed the how you solved the problem. So actually, I would advise you in the middle of your speech just to tell more about the problem is that when the negotiations come to the dead end, and the people can't, they don't know, the sides don't know what to do, and so now you come as the third party and you solve the problem. If I understood your role correctly in this thing, so just say more about this, like the goal. What is the main problem, and so what you do how to solve it. Yeah. Okay, we are short of time as usual, so we'll go to our second speaker, Irina.
Hello everyone, my name is Irina, and my job is to create a bridge between countries and people in the field of technology and to create of technology of future. Mainly I work in the field of biotechnology. I'm a scientist basically, but last 10 years I work as a science diplomat, and my task was to find partners for scientists from different countries, and to help to create a project, and also we help our country to create for the future in the field of biotechnology and different prospects and strategy in these fields. One of my projects, for example, was global animal health. So in this project participated all continents of our world, and we investigate different diseases and how we can protect our countries and people from this, and also we work in the field of ecology, biofuels, and different kind of biotechnology to help people make worlds more green, more wise, and helpful. And also very important part of our project was culture exchange, to help people understand each other and to be more peaceful. Thank you.
Thank you. I forgot about our custom. Thank you, Rina. Well, okay. So, well, great timing. I don't know what to do with this. I have the something which changed on my phone. About Irina's speech. So, was it clear what Irina does? Scientist? Are you a scientist? Are you a scientist?
Yes.
Yes, good. I love the words bridge between countries. And here I would actually, I would love if you had more details just at once in the beginning, these details about this very complicated things like biotechnology, because in the beginning it was like, okay, bridge, maybe it's like a person who makes trainings in intercultural communication.
I said science diploma.
Yeah, and then for me it was a bit later, but it was really, then you just like unwrapped all the things you wanted to say. So just the advice to say it, they are quicker, the better. So if you just say about I'm the bridge between country and people, then just say about these complicated things. Just underline that it's not something very easy because my mind wandered somewhere in some other direction, then came back. So the audience mind should follow your line. You just say in this very high technology and just say in details, just in the beginning. I love the story. You also said something more in the story, not only this particular story. You said some about the nature, about the cultural things, and so on. Maybe you should have another speech on that. But here it was okay. If you have enough time, if the person you're speaking with is interested, you can surely say more. So one thing I would like also to take into account is to whom you are speaking. So you should have surely the universal thing. Like in my profession, it's quite easy because nowadays many people need to speak in public. So if I say something like this, everybody would understand. But sometimes you have the focus, different focus. Maybe you'll present yourself to a future employer, and then you would say the details you said in the second part, they were appropriate for the employer, for the HR. But it's too much for some people who would like just to know it's a negotiation, troubleshoot, and so on. So the same for you. If you present as like your kind of an icebreaker to say more about yourself here, it was really great. But maybe in some situations you just think, okay, this person is about this, and I will make the focus on this part of my work. And there is somebody who is into culture, intercultural communication. Maybe you will omit all the high technological details, and you will tell about your experience in intercultural experience as such. So just think about the audience. So maybe, Daniel, it will be nice if you think to whom you are saying it, or is it your universal speech? Okay, now let's welcome Daniel.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am a high-rise engineer. And I say that because I work as an engineer and I have a specialization in aerospace manufacturing. So basically what I do here in Moscow is looking for partnerships between Spanish companies and Russian companies. What I am specialized at is starting a project from the beginning to the end. And I try to be a goal-oriented person. And regarding the success story, during the last year we had many Spanish companies who were interested in the in the Russian market, and we were researching and doing the analysis of the market to find them a perfect partnership. And at the moment there are many different companies who are working with the Russian companies, and they are offering their products here. So this is like what we have to do, is looking for like perfect partnership in terms that they have the perfect product for them and they have the perfect supplier. So this is like a synergy that they are working together and that's why we success looking for these partnerships.
Thank you. It was 1 minute. Thank you very much. So you're from Spain, yes?
Yeah.
Yourself. In the beginning, I didn't get it in the beginning. So maybe next time you just say. So I'm a Spanish contemporary Spanish engineer. You work an engineer, yeah. And I help Spanish companies and so on, and then it's really, for me, it just sounds perfect. Like, okay, sure, if a Spanish company wants to find partners here, so there's a Spanish guy who lives here, and this is the perfect match. So just in the beginning, like this. Then you was very good what you explained about partnerships, and in the story part, I would love to hear like the particular details, like the engineering company making such machinery, and they had like problems in emerging in the Russian market, like they, I don't know what you would say, they were not taken by some, like the competitors were very strong, like some more details. And then you say that we just help them and how you help them. So the difference between the second part and the third part is that in the second part you say it quite in a common words, like what you do on the whole, and in the third part you say the particular story, like I use the name Andrei, and I could use the names of my clients, or maybe the particular branches of the companies if they want to be secret, want to keep secret, but just more details. So this is the difference of the story. But on the whole, was very good. Well, I know that I got some now I have 3 minutes more because the speaker is not coming. So now I just wrap up our short workshop. Surely 45 minutes is not much time. So. And you will need to work more on your self-presentations. But I hope I just gave you the kind of impulse, so what you will think about. Because first step is actually to understand who you are. And then if you know yourself, if you know your goals, if you know your values, then you will be a magnet for people of this kind, the same people that will come to you, the clients who it will be easier to work with them than if you just pretend to be somebody. But sometimes it's not because you're pretending, just because there's a huge variety of things to do and you just sometimes don't know what's interesting, especially if you are young. So just work upon this understanding. So what is my strengths? What is my success story? And maybe just try some new things and see if you are good in this or if you are not so good. It's not very bad. So I know for myself which parts of working with clients and public speaking are my parts, and there are some which I can't do very well. So I invite other trainers. They help me. I sell them to the clients and everybody is happy. So just find your way and find how you tell about your way, and just start gathering the stories, collecting the stories. And also there is one of the common, objection in sales training. So there is the term objection. So some people say, I can't imagine that if they come somewhere, just say hello and say everything that I have just trained here. Surely there should be context. So if you come here to introduce yourself on this stage, this is the proper context. You can say like this. If you write down something about yourself somewhere, you also can use this model on an internet site, your landing page, etc. Or maybe when somebody's asking you, and then you'll just say your teaser, something which will be interesting, and then they will ask for more. And this is a dialogue. So what I usually love and I always recommend, just be in the dialogue. You know, the person, the people love to hear about themselves. They love to speak about themselves. It's our nature. And you know, sometimes maybe you have heard, if you were like 15 minutes listening for one person, and then this person says, "Oh, it's such a great person, speaker. It's such a great partner, conversation partner," because the person has listened to you. Just listen to people, and then you will hear what they are interested in, what's their pain, and then you can use this model. Then you can use the words you have created. It's just a Lego model. You have something about yourself, you have something about the problem, you have stories, and then you just use in a proper way. Just find the right context, the right mood, I don't know, the right place, and just use it. Just be easy, be brave to speak about yourself and to listen to other people, because they are very, very interesting. And I'm really sorry that we heard only 3 self-presentations, because I know you all are really great and amazing. Maybe next time, if we have 3 hours, everybody will tell something about themselves. Thank you so much. And also I have this slide, like questions, you know where to find me. Thank you.
Thank you, Larissa. It was very interesting and useful, at least for me.